On this muggy day in Nardo, Italy, a challenger from rural Sweden is preparing to try to break the record of world's fastest production car. Set by the McLaren F1, this record has defied all takers for 7 years and stands at a blistering 240.3 miles per hour. A humid day and a tightly ovaled track seem to portend another failure.
Nardo is a circular track, so it kind of scrubs away a lot of speed. You're constantly on a turn.
But the Challenger is no ordinary car. This is the CCR from the innovative Koenigsegg Motor Company. It quickly accelerates past 100 miles per hour, and then 150. By the time the CCR is in 6th gear, it's well over 200 miles per hour, rapidly closing in on the old record. The man behind the new Challenger, Christian von Koenigsegg, had an infatuation with fast cars that began in his youth.
When I was 5 years old, I saw a Norwegian puppet movie about a bicycle repairman who built himself a race car, and I got really excited by it. So I said to myself, that's what I want to do. I want to build my own car.
That dream led Christian to start the Koenigsegg Automotive Company in 1995. Soon thereafter, he designed the CCR.
I basically started from a blank sheet of paper, and I had some ideas of what my car would be like. It was going to be a nimble, lightweight, high-performance sports car with a detachable hardtop that actually gave the convertible feeling when you take it off. CCR stands for Competition Coupe Radical. The Koenigsegg CCR is the lightest, most powerful, fastest supercar ever built. It's basically a race car for the road, but it has features that you expect from a road car, such as air conditioning, stereo, power windows, power steering, etc. It's got racing car performance, but it's still very streetable and drivable, and you can cruise around in it. Our production facility used to be a fighter jet squadron. Now we build the fastest car in the world in here.
Under that car's sleek hood is an engine that holds a world's record for sheer power.
This is the engine for the CCR. It's the most powerful production engine in the world with 806 horsepower. The CCR features a very lightweight V8 engine with a patented supercharging system. We base it off a production racing block. All the internals are our own engineering. We were looking at doing V12, but we quickly realized that our performance target of 800 horsepower could be obtained safely within a V8 structure.
One of the CCR's most striking features is its unique door mechanism.
We have a very wide car with very wide doors, so we realized that when we parked next to other cars, that was not very practical. And I had seen on an electrical car in Sweden a similar door system where you open first outwards and then upwards, which was quite intriguing. But it wasn't really practical to first move out and then up. So we came up with this system where we do it all in one motion, which, according to everyone we talked to, was impossible. It's probably the most difficult door system on any car in the history of cars. But it works very good, and it's very stable.
Another feature crucial to the car's success is much less obvious. There's precious little metal used in construction of the CCR. Instead, super high-tech carbon fiber makes up much of the car.
The carbon fiber technology was originally invented by NASA in the US for their space program. Basically, it's the strongest, lightest, commercially available material to produce products out of. And it's still very expensive, but if you want to go lightweight and strong, carbon fiber is the way to go.
In its original state, carbon fiber looks like the thin neoprene rubber used in wetsuits. The fiber is formed onto molds of the specific car part it's to become. Then, on those molds, the parts are placed into a kiln-like oven, whose temperature is constantly monitored.
This is the oven we use to cure our products in. We cure them for 120 degrees for 1 hour. Then it will be several more times stiffer than steel.
The now super-hardened fiber remains remarkably lightweight. The molded pieces are then fitted together by hand.
We use carbon fiber almost everywhere in the cars, so that means the chassis structure is actually carbon fiber. The engine structures, even valve covers, are carbon fiber. All the interior trim panels are very, very thin carbon fiber. Even the body panel system is carbon fiber. When you see them painted, they just look like steel or aluminum, but it's carbon fiber underneath.
Technology this sophisticated wasn't even imaginable when automobiles made their first appearance in 1886. Built by Carl Benz, the first production car had 3 wheels and 1 cylinder.
It'll do about 12 miles an hour, 13 miles an hour, but a horse would have to really be pushing it to go 14 miles in an hour, and so it was quite a bit. And he built 10 of them. I wasn't there, but I guarantee you 2 of those cars went off against each other in a race.
By the turn of the century, automobile speeds had increased enough to spawn the first sanctioned car races, including one in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, that carried historic implications.
The Ford against the Winton, and this is back in 1903, and there was a prize of $10,000. Now, Ford had gone bankrupt a couple of times, but he built this car for this race. The Winton had mechanical trouble on the 9th lap and did not finish, and here comes Ford, goes on by him and wins the race, and that was the start of the Ford Motor Company. $10,000 in 1903 was a lot of money, and he took that money and he started building his first Model Ts, and the rest is history.
Ford's Model T came off the production line with a top speed of 45 miles per hour, an increase of nearly 400% over Benz's first models just 20 years earlier. But Ford soon had serious competition in the speed department. Among the fastest production cars of the teens was the aptly named Raceabout, built by the Mercer Automobile Company in Hamilton, New Jersey.
There were 2-seater cars, what today would be considered a sports car, although you sat on the body, not in the body, and they were considered stylish, fast automobiles. We have a 1912 Mercer in our collection, and that car will do an honest 95 miles an hour. We're talking almost 100 years ago. That was supersonic for its age.
But it wouldn't be until the early 1930s that a production car would smash through 100 miles per hour. The Duesenberg.
Duesenberg was actually a race car builder, and he raced at Indianapolis. Duesenbergs, they would go in second gear, they would do 90 miles an hour. And top gear, they were good for maybe 105 miles an hour. Now, they only made a little over 500 Duesenbergs altogether between 1930 and 1936, but that was considered a very, very fast production car.
The decade before World War II saw technical advancements like the Buick Dynaflash V8 engine. These powerhouses helped keep the speed crown in the U.S. with cars like the Buick Century. But after the war, European automakers made a determined run at the title, starting with a small but powerful 2-seater from the UK that pushed the mark even higher.
They decided to designate the car the XK120 based on the fact that it would go 120 miles an hour. And Jaguar's done that through the years.
The XK120 and the ensuing E-Class of Jaguar Roadsters changed the world's perception of what a fast street car looked like. Soon, other European designers like Enzo Ferrari began production models based on racing success.
Ferrari's full emphasis for himself was racing, but to finance race cars, he built production automobiles. We're talking cars that you and I could get in, hit the key, start up, turn the radio on if we want to listen to some music.
By the late 1960s, other European builders upped the ante, attacking the 200-mile-an-hour barrier, like one Ferruccio Lamborghini.
Lamborghini was a farm implement manufacturer, and he was a very wealthy man. So he went back to his plant and he said, all right, we're going to build a sports car and we're going to go head-to-head with Ferrari. And he did the Countach. And the Countach was a absolute knock your socks off, you know, you just can't believe it, you know, take your breath away type of car. It was so revolutionary.